Today we're going to focus on the new 2019 Dodge Ram 1500 Bighorn. And what we're going to be doing is replacing all of the halogen bulbs over to LED. You're going to have to take off the wheel well from the side. You're going to need an 8mm socket wrench. So now we're going to take off another 4 more screws. That's 1, 2, 3, 4. Take those 4 off so you can gain access to the back of the headlight assembly, and we're going to go ahead and hyperlapse it again. You're going to be using the same 8mm socket. Once you get them off, you hold this tab. Here we go, we have some light. So you go ahead and grab the dust cap, twist it counterclockwise, loosen it, and pull it off. And there is a halogen bulb. You're going to go ahead and twist it counterclockwise and pull it off and take off the bulb connector. The T10 side marker bulb is right there. You can go ahead and disconnect that too. There, here we go, there it is. Right next to it, clockwise pull, and there it is, and remove the bulb. Now here's a look of the LED bulbs we're going to be upgrading. High beam, low beam, fog light, turn signal, and side marker. To access it from the back, we're going to start by shoving the driver in, and now putting the bulb in, and you have to twist the bulb clockwise. Then you connect it. Now we're going to put the amber T10 bulb for the side marker, so keep that in mind. Don't force it, otherwise you'll break the T10 bulb. And you're going to rotate it clockwise to lock it in. Now you're going to want to double check that the bulb is locked in and the dust cap's fully locked. That way you don't get any water going in from the back. And that's how you change the side marker and low beam bulbs. Here's a before look at the halogen bulbs and an after look with the LED bulbs. Now let's go for a road test.
Would you believe that these are LEDs and so are these high beams? Crazy output, crazy intensity, all in the new Ram.
Now this is an outside look of the Ram, so you can see how much foreground there is and the intensity of the light outputs coming out from the headlights. Now let's show you the performance of the high beam. Here's the low beam, and now for the high beam. Back to low beam, high beam. That's how bright they are. Replacing the high beam and the turn signal bulb, but first we got to open up the hood to gain access to the back of the headlight assembly. So we're going to go and open up the hood latch right underneath the steering wheel. Got it. Now we're going to go towards the center of the actual hood. The hood latch is underneath the center. Move it to the left and the hood pops open. Now we're going to reach to the back of the headlight to gain access to the high beam cap. Here's a high beam cap. You're going to twist it counterclockwise to pull it off and remove the factory bulb. From the 9005 bulb. Once you remove it, you're free to go. And now over to Steven to help educate you on the new bulbs we're going to install.
These are going to be the new bulbs. Okay. So we made this design without that support right there. Plus we also gave it the 360-degree adjustable pretty much tabs. So like that, in case let's say you do happen to run into that problem, as long as you got this locked in, all you have to do now is just adjust it and put in its correct position so you can get that proper light cutoff. Okay.
To install the 9005 LED bulb, you are going to want to insert it the same way you remove the factory halogen bulb. Slide it in and then twist it to the right, sorry, righty-tighty. Now before you clip the 9005 connection, you are going to want to check the polarity. The positive needs to be on the right side of the clip and a negative on the left side of the clip. Just like that. Positive on the right, negative on the left. That's how it needs to go in, otherwise it won't turn on. And remember to put your dust cap back on, otherwise you'll get water and moisture because it's not there anymore. So make sure you tighten it nice and tight. Now to show you how these perform at night, this is the low beam setting. Now for the high beam, back to the low beam, and back to high beam. That's how bright these high beams are.
Alright guys, we're here at Lasfit again, and we got this 2019 Ram 1500 Bighorn. And we're gonna be replacing the fog light bulbs today. So they'll be the ones right here. They're gonna be the H11s.
To start, you're going to need your 8mm socket. You're going to remove these 3 screws, 1, 2, and 3. Pop it from the back, from here, and then go ahead and get the red tab down, pull it down. That's the locking tab. Once you pull it down, push forward, and then pull down from the socket, and then remove the bulb counterclockwise.
Your fog light's also going to be an H11, which we're going to be using the LD series, all right? So this is the one that has the new function for the 4300K yellow, then it has the 3400 or 3200K golden yellow, and it has the SOS function, okay? And that's going to be your fog light.
So here's a look at the fog light bulb, and there's a fog light assembly, and we're going to access it from the back. You're going to slot it in, try to fit it in, and then rotate it clockwise to lock in the bulb.
There you go. So we got the new LDH11s installed. These are the switchbacks. We have them start off by default at 6000K, which is the hyper white we got right now. And then if you shut off the fog light and turn it back on, it'll give you the next color, which is the halogen color. And then if we do it again, we'll get the JDM yellow, or the golden yellow. And if we do it one more time, we get the SOS function.
Now we're going to go over replacing the T15 brake light and cargo lights for the Dodge Ram. You're going to need 2 white, 1 red, and you're going to need a Phillips screwdriver as your tool. Now we're going to hand it over to Steven to do the install.
Put it right here. Pretty much going to remove 4 Phillips screws. One thing you want to do here is that you want to pry it upwards, so not pry it, but like twist it upwards like that, and it'll pop out really easy. Next, what you're going to do is actually disconnect it from here. It's a push clip. Just like that. Okay?
Now that it's removed, flip it back and remove the 2 cargo lights and the 1 parking light, or the brake light, from the full assembly, and get ready to install the new T15 bulbs.
We're going to be using 1 red, because that's going to be for your center brake light, and then we got 2 white ones, which is pretty much like your cargo light for the back. And I think it also turns on when you got the backup lights. Keep these as straight as possible, because if you have it completely like that and angle, there's a high chance that it can touch one of the resistors, like these right here. These little things here are resistors. If it were to cross between both of them, you're pretty much short-circuited. So you want to make sure you keep it as straight as possible, okay, when you put it in. Okay. And now we're going to do the actual cargo lights or reverse lights install. Okay, keep it as straight as possible. Okay, lock it in place. Test before you put everything back together. So put it like that.
Press it. Let go. Press it. Let go.
Alright, so when you're putting this back together, make sure you apply pressure on it, because it does have this rubber gasket that goes around it to prevent water from going in.
And that concludes the halogen to LED upgrade for the Dodge Ram cargo light. Thanks for watching. And now for a before and after look. We're now going to focus on removing the factory halogen bulbs on the tail light and convert them over to LED. That is for the parking light, brake light, and the rear reverse bulb. Now let's go ahead and open up the trunk. We're going to show you that we're going to remove 2 screws and 2 tabs. There's a tab here, a screw there. Pull the tab back, little metal tab back, slide it up, and off it goes. So we're gonna need 2 tools. We're gonna need a T25 socket, and we're gonna need a tab remover. In this case, we're using a metal tab remover because these tabs are very, very stiff. Do apply a bit of force because they are very, very strong in there, and then go ahead and remove the T25s.
What I did is I put my fingers between the water gasket, or see what you call it here, in between it like this, and then just pull a little bit out, and then just pull it out straight, okay? Don't bend it because you'll break it. But pretty much this is all that's holding it in place.
Disconnect the connection that holds the tail light in. There we go. And now we're gonna go over. So we're gonna begin with the middle one. This is the reverse bulb. Let's pop it off and remove it. And then let's remove the parking and brake light bulb. Now we're gonna go ahead and install these, and we're gonna hand it over to Steven.
Okay, so we're gonna be using the 7443s for the reverse lights, which is gonna be your standard white, okay? It'll be this one right here. And the bottom one, which is your brake, is gonna be our red 7440s, okay? So let's just take out your bulb. These are non-polarity as well, so you don't have to worry about like which side it goes. Just once it goes in, it clips in, you're good to go. Also non-polarity, so as soon as you have it click, you're good to go. So at this point, you're gonna plug them in, okay? And before you reassemble it, I recommend test it. Make sure they actually light up, okay?
Before we bolt it down, we gotta make sure everything works perfectly fine. So we're gonna go ahead and turn on the vehicle and test everything out.
Turn on the parking light. Hit the brake. Release. Great, and then turn it on and start it, pop it in reverse.
So now we're going to be doing the footwell on the driver's side. So this is how the unit is going to look like. It actually connects to this cable right here. Okay. And pretty much when the door is open, it'll actually trigger it. Okay. And it's usually plugged in like this. So it's held in pretty much by a little push clip, which is this one right here. Okay, you can see there's openings. So you want to make sure you line this up so this will spin. Line it up to where you can actually see those little black, I don't know if you can see that, black tabs in there. Once it's in this position where it's away from those, it'll just pop out like that. Alright, so once you get that bulb out, pretty much you're going to get your new T10s, okay? Same thing about before. Make sure you get this aligned as perfect as you can. Try in the center. Okay. Which this one shouldn't give you much problems because it's pretty much like as soon as you pop it in, there's only one way to go in, so it should be centered. Okay. Test it first.
Damn, that's bright.
And there you go.
Move the footlight.
So you don't really have to take this all apart, okay? We're on the passenger side now. You can literally just take off just the actual cover and you should be able to pull out the bolt by itself, okay? So you can either remove the whole unit and work with it outside, or just save the trouble. Align this. Remember how much space you took on the other side to get it, and just align it until you feel it kind of loose, and then you just pop it off. Simple as that. We used to pick, and all you're gonna do, just like that you have spare from installing on the driver's side, and simply install. Okay, make sure it seats all the way down, and at that point you're done.
Yep.
your cap back, just like that, and just hold this back in place.
There you go.
Now here's a before look at the driver's side. Here's an after look at the driver's side. Now before look on the passenger side, and an after look on the passenger side.
So now we're gonna be doing the map lights, okay guys? So first of all, what you're gonna do, which we already got it started, is that there's gonna be two I believe it was 6mm screws that go here. Okay, it might actually be a 7mm. Okay, I kind of lost where I put it. Let's check real quick. It's actually 8. Okay, it's an 8. It's an 8mm that goes here. There'll be two of them. There's gonna be two of them here. Make sure you remove those, because if you don't remove these, you're gonna break this when you're trying to pull it out. Okay, 2 clips in these edges right here, in these corners, and just carefully take your time. Okay, I actually recommend, this is not for the faint of heart, because there is a high chance you could break these. Okay, so make sure you take your time with it. So at this point, make sure you disconnect the actual plugs, because it'll make it difficult to actually work with if you try to put it here. So take your time. Pops out just like that. Pull these 2 tabs. Okay, so it is where the actual lights are at. You're gonna pull these tabs right here. Okay, and then you take out the whole assembly. Alright, so at this point you can set this aside. You're gonna be taking out the T10s just like that. Just wiggle them out. You get your new Lasfit T10 bolts. Okay. Alright, and before you reassemble everything, test it. You want to make sure it actually works before you put everything together. Okay, there you go. Okay, and avoid touching anything over here in the circuit. Okay, try to hold it from the plastic parts. Set it to auto, so the auto function works. You turn it off, turn it back on. That's both of them on at all times. That'll be only open when the doors. Okay, so we're gonna turn it back to off again. Disconnect it and reassemble everything. So we're gonna reassemble this, and there's a specific way you gotta put this all together, or else like you risk breaking stuff. So you see these tabs in the back, you want to start with these first. Okay, so you're gonna line them up to these. Once they're in, and there you go. Make sure you plug it. Okay, just like that. And then just like that. Turn it off. Okay. Okay, and pretty much it's in already. And you just remember, put back your 2 8mm screws that go in here. Okay.
Here's a before look with the halogen bulbs, and an after look with the LED bulbs.
So we're gonna be replacing now the actual light for a dome light, which is replacing it with the 44mm. And pretty much the way you're gonna work on this, and I don't know if the camera can catch this, but there's actually an indentation right here.
Yeah.
Okay, so you want to get either something smaller than this, so less wider, and try to pry it in here, and it pops out just like that. Make sure you test that your light still works. Okay, if everything still checks out, then at that point remove it. You just pry it out just like that. Okay, and these are already canvas compatible, all right? So these should not flicker or cause you any errors when you pop them in, okay? So put that back in there, and simple as this. And there's also a trick to getting this one in, okay? So I'll turn this out so you can actually see what I'm doing. You want to get this little tab right here to kind of get through this edge. It's kind of hard, but if you can do that sideways, and at the same time you're gonna be pushing back, okay? And it goes in.